Well, I know the exact day was March 3rd, 2012.
Ooh.
And that is because my favorite number is 3 and also 2. And I met him on 2 3s, which I'm really weird about that.
Alright, so I'm just going around, going out with a couple of my friends. She has a couple of her friends out that, you know, obviously didn't know at the time. And I just kind of, she catches my eye just on the side. And I just go up to her and like, hey, can I buy you a drink at all, you know?
When I met him, we were actually out with each group of friends. We were at like the worst bar at the beach that nobody wants to be associated with, which is so funny. So we're there and he asked me if I would like a drink and I said no. And then 30 minutes later I changed my mind and I went up to him and I said, you know what, I'll take that drink. And then we danced the whole entire night and I told him, are you gonna get my number before I leave? Because he wasn't asking. And he said, yeah, I'm gonna get your number. And I typed it in his phone.
She just gives me her, she asked for my number when I was just going to get a drink at the bar. She thought I was leaving. And she's like, are you gonna grab my number? And I was like, of course. And then I gave her a hug goodbye and I said, I'll give you a call soon. And that was it.
And then I texted him, he did not text me back for like 24 hours. And I was like, hello, what are you doing? But he got back to me the next day all smooth and asked me out on another date, so I was sold.
And she actually, a funny story, she texted me in the middle of the night and I woke up I think about 7 and I saw it. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I texted her back like an hour or two later, just like, yeah, we'll
busy.
You got it. We'll hang out sometime this week. And then she actually called me up only 2 days after that. And then the rest was history, where I met with her at Waterman's with a couple of her friends. We were bike riding down there. And then one of her friends, her maid of honor, one of the maid of honors, Katya, said, you know, my girl's crushing on you very hard. And I'm like, I know, I can tell. So, and that's it. And 4.5 years later, and we're here.
He said he was 28, and he's 6 years older than me, and I really wanted somebody mature and older.
Yeah.
Because he was an engineer, he had his stuff together, he had his own house, and I'm always looking for a real man, and he is a real man. He took me to the Botanical Gardens, which is where we're getting married, and I had no idea. I don't know why I didn't see it coming, because I knew it was coming at some point. And he just got back from some bachelor party, I think.
And I actually planned that a couple weeks in advance, where we just kind of said, you know, on a day, I think it was a Friday, I was just like, hey, well, let's just go to Botanical. Actually, it might have been a Saturday. And she's like, okay, so she didn't think anything of it. Nobody thought anything of it. And everybody kind of knew a proposal was coming at some point, but they didn't know when.
Had this romantic picnic under this big tree on the water, and I should have seen it coming, and I didn't.
So I went out there and I had the ring in my pocket and was kind of hiding it all day, and just walked around Botanical and was looking for the right spots. And then finally towards the end of the day, I think it was like noon, we got there kind of early, I saw a little dip down with the tree, and then it was sunny that day. In a little area where we can have like a picnic. So I'm like, hey, let's go over here, and I kind of go down there, and it was like a 4 or 5 foot elevation drop. There's the engineer coming out at me, and I'm like, come on. She's like, what? And I was like, what's down there?
He distracted me and told me, hey, look at these geese over here or something. And I looked, and the next thing I knew, he was down on one knee.
And I kind of, I don't know what I really said. I'm like, you're the best. Will you know, I want to spend the rest of my life with you, and will you marry me? And you're the best.
And then I was a mess, and I don't even think he got any of his words out. It was just a big happy mess. And I was 5 months pregnant, so we knew we'd be together forever. We just needed a good time, and that was the perfect time. I know he said, I want to love you for 100 years. Or something like that. Like, I will love you for 100 years, and that was like, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And I was like, 100 years? That's a lot of years.
Oh, okay, yeah, I was like, will you spend the next 100 years with me? I think that was so, yeah, that's right.
That's
yeah,
cool.
That's good she remembered that.
But when he came, it was like the scariest time of both of our lives, and that showed a whole completely different side of both me and him.
When I found out her best friend told me that, you know, hey, you need to come to the hospital, I remember that day, and I was just like, what? And she's like, yeah, I think she's gonna have the baby, and that was, you know, 3 months premature.
He never left my side once. I was in the hospital for a week. He literally didn't eat, didn't shower, slept right next to me, and totally kept me calm until Ace came. And then he took care of Ace because I couldn't. So it was...
That's true love right there.
It is. That is true love.
And she was on the hospital bed on a incline like that, trying to keep him in her belly so they can get the good nutrition in there and make sure his heart's good, his lungs are good. And stayed by her side, was in the hospital for 6 days, didn't leave. It just came kind of natural. Everybody's like, oh, you did so good, and, you know, like, oh, so glad you stayed. I'm like, well, that's what you're supposed to do. Like, that's it. I didn't need to go into any acting mode. Like, that's what I did. And it was great, you know? I mean,
Ace, well, he actually came up with it. He wanted a 3-letter name, and we went through a bunch of them, and none of the family members liked it, so we kind of liked it because nobody else liked it, and nobody else had an opinion on it. So it stuck, and now he is a total ace.
She just is a great mom, and he is the person he is today, and so healthy because of her. So it's just amazing. Couldn't ask for a better mom to Ace.
He is our ring bearer, and he's the best man. So he's dual purpose. He's going to be matching tuxedos with his dad.
Nice.
And he's going to be pulled in a wagon by the flower girls. Nice. So he's going to be super cute.
I remember early on I was like, oh, you know, 2, 3. Then after that I'm like, you know what, if we have a girl I might be done. And she's even thinking that too. And she said, hey, we should have a tribe of 5. And I'm like, well, I don't know about that. I mean, it is, you know, I'm the cautious, I'm, you know, an engineer, so I think it costs too, and it's expensive, you know, because I want to put my kids through college and give them a good opportunity just like my dad did.
Well, I have my little girl Callie, she's a Pomeranian, and when I met Ricky I said it was a package deal. She's coming with me, so
Gotcha.
You better love her like she's your own, and he did.
You know, I never really had a dog growing up, and the more and more I got to know Callie, the more and more it's like, it's a great, awesome dog. You know, she's 8 pounds, but the best thing about her is she's one of the smartest dogs I ever met.
And that is one of the things I loved most about him is he took a little 5-pound dog and treated her as his own. I forgot.
That was the best one!
We have to see that played back.
That was funny.
Immediately talking to her, you know, I can just tell she was a mature 22-year-old because, you know, at that age, at 22, you know, women kind of mature faster than men, and she especially matured faster. And we clicked good, and we just, you know, we gelled, and she, you know, I'm a very kind of cautious person, and I don't really travel as much, and she comes from like a traveling side and very adventurous and kind of like, hey, let's just go. And I'm like, that's a good balance. It kind of like, I balance her out, she balances me out. That's why we get along. We never really fight, which is a great quality too. I mean, I come from a loud family that's from New York, so you think we're fighting, but we're not. We're just talking really loud. And you know, I was always a shy kid growing up, so I kind of had to talk over my family. But with Brianna, it's so easy, and we get along so good. And like I said, she brings out like the adventurous side of me, and I'm more like the cautious side, which she needs some stability too, and I need that, like, let's go on a trip a week away to Jamaica. So that's why it's pretty cool. It kind of takes me out of my element, and I kind of ground her, and it's a good balance. And I've always said that, like, balance is a key. I've learned that in life. So
My life has always been very serious. My family was in the military. It's always structured and completely. It's structured, but then things go wrong, like 9/11 changed our whole lives. When I met Ricky, he was the funniest guy. He makes me laugh every single day of my life, like the dumbest jokes. I don't even know why, but we're always laughing, we're always smiling. I don't think, we've probably had like one fight in 4 years because we're best friends, we talk all the time. He's my go-to for everything. I mean, there's nothing I can't say to him and he can't say to me that won't make us mad. It's just, everything about him is easygoing. And that's really what attracted me to him, is he's just the nice guy. And I just love the nice guys. And they're the ones that deserve the love. and I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with him.
And we got a lot of good qualities and a lot of opposites, but the good opposites that, like, we're like, oh, okay, cool, that, you know, you're excited about.
Our first look. Because then it's just me and him, and it's just going to be magical. When we're in front of a bunch of people, we get really awkward. We're like awkward people. So when we get together, it's just me and him, and we totally get each other. So I'm really looking forward to just seeing him see me in the dress, and because I'm like a mom, so I never get to get pretty and dress up. So when I do, I'm like, yay! So it'd be nice to show him off, and he'll be all dapper in his suit. Hi, Ricky. I just want to say you are everything to me. You are, I'm going to start crying because I'm always emotional. You are everything and more to me. You've made me the happiest girl that I thought I could never be. And you've been my rock. You've been there through everything. You're the best dad. You're the best hubby to be. I know we're going to go through some things in our lives, and we're going to have a lot of people throw things at us, but I know it's just you and me against the world. I've said since day one, when everything else goes wrong, we go right, it's always you and me, and I'm just really lucky to have you, and I love you so much. I wish I could just put it into all the words in the world, but I can't. I'll write them down for you so you don't forget. But I do love you, and I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you.
All right, Brianna, Bri, you are the one I want to spend the rest of my life with. I can't believe we're here already. Time has flown by. As I always said, Ace beat me to the proposal, even though I was proposing that year. He just beat me by a couple months, which is awesome. I wouldn't change anything about it. I can't wait to just spend, like I said, 100 years with you, grow old with you, and hopefully we have more children. And to be honest, I hope we have a girl next, and then that could be it, and a boy and a girl, and it's great. But you know, we'll look back at this, and even if you change, you're supposed to change, and I'm supposed to change. Like, you're supposed to change together. And I love you when I first met you. I love you a couple years ago. I love you last year. I love you now. I'm gonna love you 100 years. Whatever, you know, whatever kind of way you go, I'm following you. Keep on pushing me through things too. I will always be your ground you can stand on. I will never leave you. And I can't wait to ride on this journey together. I love you so much. All right, I think we're good.